Hi everyone, this is Chris from Landbot.io.
Hi everyone, this is Jackie from Landbot as well.
So welcome everyone to our very second webinar. We're going to learn a lot about Landbot essentials, and I'm going to explain you what's going to happen here. So first part, we're going to go through a presentation just to make sure we're all on the same page. And I'm going to share you some basic features of Landbot and how this all works. Then we're going to go to the platform. We're going to create our very first Landbot. We're going to create our channel. We're going to create our chatbot, and we're going to test it. And we're going to share it with you too, so you can test our just created Landbot. And finally, we'll have like 15, 20 minutes of Q&A, so you can ask anything you need. You'll be muted the whole session, but at the end, we'll be reading your comments, and we'll give in the best answers possible. So let's start. We'll turn off our cameras and I'll start sharing my screen. Hope you enjoy the webinar. Thank you.
Okay, let's start.
All right, so this is Landbot.io. This is webinar about Landbot essentials. So this is a little presentation just so you can understand why we've built this product. So we all know that average landing page conversion is really, really low. So it's around 235 if we take a look at benchmarks. And there are some reasons because this is happening. There's a very low time on page. There's a very low personalization. And well, people hate filling out forms. So if we take a look at this graph, we see that people spend all day on instant messaging. It was by, I think, 2016, 2015 maybe, when instant messaging surpassed the social media. So it makes sense the fact that by making websites conversational, we can boost our conversion, and we can be really, really cool by differentiating ourselves from competitors. So with these conversational websites, you can engage with a conversation like if you were talking to a friend. We can personalize the experience to the limit. We'll see more of these later on. And you can capture information seamlessly. Like it's really, really easy to capture information and to send it anywhere else. So, well, these 3 points, we are going to see how we can design a whole chatbot flow. It's going to be really simple, but I want you to get the basics. We're going to customize our channel. We're going to add some background, some logo, some colors to buttons and everything. And finally, we are able to, we're not going to go through API requests on this webinar, but there's some good articles in our knowledge base where you can learn how to, for instance, send custom fields or send any data gathered by the chatbot to your favorite apps through our Zapier integration. So finally, we manage all these Landbots and leads from the app. So first, I'm going to go to BuildBot, like if I were going to create an account. So this is saying, welcome back, because I've already been on this page, but I'm going to start again. And I'm going to create my very first account. I'm going to go fast here. So it needs an email to start. I'm going to go for webinar.landbot.io. Now it's going to ask my company name, and I'm going to say webinar landbot.io. And finally, it's going to ask for my name. I'm Chris. So I've already created this account. Just wanted to go through our BuildBot process. So I'm going to just close this tab and log in my account. I just created an account. You'll see it's totally empty. So I'm here. I'll start with webinar@landbot.io, and then our password. I'm logging in, and now I'm inside the platform. So basically, we have nothing here. We have no chats because I haven't tested my first Landbot that when you create with that BuildBot process. So I'm going to go through the different sections here. So if I go to settings, I can click on channels and see the first Landbot that the system automatically creates for me. But I can create a new channel, which means I can create a new website where the Landbot is going to live that I can fully customize. So if I go to chatbots, I see the created chatbots we've got here. This is the first one that creates the system with the brand. There's a template here, so all of you have this template. I strongly recommend you to try this one out because it really covers pretty much every single element you can add to your Landbot. So I'm going to start with something totally new. So I'm going to go back to settings. I'll go to channels, and I'll create a new Landbot. So I'm going to change the name. I'm going to call it webinar first Landbot. And here I can pick some options to customize my website. So on the bottom of the screen, I got my preview. So I'm going to start editing some things like text in the logo zone. I'm going to go for webinar test. The tagline is going to be something like, let's create conversational experiences. I'm going to change the header colors to something like this. I think it's going to be cool. I'm going to copy these so I can use it later on. You can introduce any hexadecimal color code you want. All right, so I'm going to go for background configuration. I got some image ready for this. So I click on image. I open up my browser, and I got this cool background. So we can see here, there's some buildings. I'm going to change the font. I'm going to go for some Roboto. I love Roboto. And I'm going to keep it on 16. And then I can customize some colors of the button. So I'm going to go for this red, and I'm going to put the blue, the same one I use for the for the header of the chatbot. And I think I'm ready to go. So I'm just going to save it, and the system is going to generate the URL I can use to access the chatbot. So below here, below the preview, there is a default URL. So if we want to test our Landbot, we better copy these and paste it in our browser so we can start talking to the Landbot. All right, so my channel is ready. If I go to channels, I see webinar first Landbot. This is my channel. And now I'm going to create a Landbot that's going to basically live inside this channel. So before starting, I have my Evernote here, and I recommend you doing this because I've just, I prepared my script, and I designed a little bit of a flow so I can go a bit faster. So in this flow, we're going to have some introduction, we're going to add some GIFs, we're going to ask for some data like name, email, some custom fields. We're going to add some single and multiple choice questions. And finally, we'll go through some HTML hacks to embed video and buttons. I'll show you more on this later on. So I'm going to go back to my chatbot builder, and I'm going to click on add one. So I'm going to call it something like chatbot webinar 1. And I'm going to select how it will be activated every time. We strongly recommend using it every time, so you make sure that every time someone visits your website, the chatbot is going to be launched. And finally, I need to select the channel. So I'm going to pick the channel I've just created from the settings section. That's webinar first Landbot. So I'm going to click on save. So the first thing I need to do, by the way, there's some help section here. I know most of you don't know about these, but there's some cool tutorial here that helps you create your first Landbot. You can close it at any time, so you may want to check that out. So I'm going to add my first block, and it's going to be a send message block. So I click on save, and I can introduce a text. I got my text here, which is my name's Chris, and this is my first Landbot. So I'm going to just paste it here. Remember, you can use like asterisks for bold and down bars for italics, so you can customize the markdowns of your text. So all right, my name is Chris, and this is my first Landbot. I'm going to save this. Now I pick the green arrow, which means that it's going to go straight to the next block, and I'm going to send another message. I click on save. I copy my text. I'm going to ask for some data and give you some options later on. But first, I'll send you a GIF. There's some GIF too. So I'm going to paste this text here, and I'm going to hide the text box. Why do I hide it? Just to make sure the user or the visitor is not able to type in anything, and I'm in more control of the whole experience. So I'm going to hide this, and I'm going to hide the first one too. All right, so now let's add some GIF. Again, it's a send message block, but I need to click here on the switcher on image. Now I'm going to upload my very own image. So I got a GIF of our team at Landbot.io here. I'm going to hide the text box again, and I'm going to save it. It takes a bit to load the GIF. All right, we're ready to go. Yeah, saving it. We see this loading bar here. All right, so we got 3 blocks by now. So we got one text block, and one GIF. And right now, let's take a look at my script. So now I'm going to ask for a name. So I'm going to copy this text, and I'm going to create a new block, send message to, and I'm going to ask for that name. So I'm not hiding the text box to make sure that the user, the visitor, can introduce something in the text box. So I click on save, And now this is really, really important. Whenever we are asking for some data to our visitors, we need a send message to ask for that data, and then we need to create a pick data block to tell the chatbot what kind of data do we want to pick. So we click on save, and now I'm going to ask for the name, so I'm going to pick name here, and now I'm going to go for no validation. We can check for a keyword here, but if there are some strange names, the chatbot might have some troubles trying to identify it. So we go for no validation. So he's basically going to take the whole message that the visitor is typing. So I'll click on save, and by default, the system creates an error message. This may not make much sense when we're talking about name, but for email, for instance, if there is no @ symbol, the system is going to say, hey, try again, because this is not an email. So I'm going to just delete this block by clicking down here in the trash. Are you sure? I am. All right, so let's go to the next element in my Landbot. I'm going to ask for an email. Nice to meet you. Name. I'm using some dynamic field here. You'll see it later on in action. Could you tell me your email now? So I'm going to copy these, and I'm going to create a new block. Green arrow again, send message, and I'm going to paste it here. Again, I'm not hiding the text box so the user can type anything in the text box. And now I need a second block, pick data one, to tell the chatbot to get what the user is entering. So now I'm going to go for email. And this time I'm going to check for a valid email. That's what I was saying. Because if the user is not typing an @ symbol, the system is going to know it, and it's going to say, hey, could you try again, please? So I'm going to keep this error message in this case. The error message is basically, I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Could you try again? You can customize these. So I got my nice to meet you. Could you give me your email? Pick email, error message in case that's not an email. And let's go for the next block. I go back to my script, and now I'm going to ask for a custom field. So we've got some personal data fields like name, email, address, but we can also add some custom fields. In this case, just the Skype ID. So great, I'll spam you at, again, dynamic field, so hard you won't believe. And just kidding, could you share your Skype ID with me so we can contact you later? I'm copying this text. Again, I'm adding another send message block, and I'm pasting the text here. So you'll see that these dynamic fields are going to show up in the conversation with the information we already have from the visitor. So I'm not hiding the text box again. I'm clicking on save. Green arrow, again, pick data. But now, instead of picking one of these fields, I'm going to create a new one. So I'm going to go for Skype ID, and I'm going to click no validation, plain text. And I click on save. Again, I'm not needed here in error message, so I'm just going to delete this block because the system won't be able to recognize if that Skype ID exists. So let's go back to my script. All right, so now I'm gonna do a sort of summary of what I've got so far. So I'll try to ask the user if the data I've already got from him is actually correct. So I'm gonna copy this. Okay, so this is the data I've captured so far. The name, the email, Skype ID, and I'm gonna ask if this is correct. So I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna add a new block with the green arrow, and I'm gonna paste this text. So we're going to do some cool thing here. We're going to give the visitor the opportunity to change any of these fields. And this is going to be really simple. So I'm going to add some options, and I'm going to tell them, all right, so I want to continue. I want to change my name. I want to change my email, or I want to change my Skype ID. And I click on save. In this case, I'm hiding the text box to make sure that the visitor can only click on these buttons. So what I'm going to do now is, instead of creating a pick data block, now I'm given options. So I need a pick selected option block. I click on save, save again, and as I'm hiding the text box, there's no need for an error message. So again, I'm going to delete it. Now, I'm not going to use a red or a green arrow. I'm going to use white arrows for keywords. So I was given three options: continue, change name, change email, or change the Skype ID. We're going to go first for change name. So if we want to give the user the opportunity to change that field, we need to create a new block, send message, okay, introduce your, enter better your name again, please. I click on save, and now on this white arrow, I'm going to type name. So this means that if the user clicks on this button, change name is going to go for this block. I click on save, and now what I need another peak data. Click on save, and I'm going to get the name, and I'm going to get no validation, and I click on save. Again, I'm going to delete this error message, and I'm going to go back to the block number 11 where I gather all the information. So this is the data I've captured to give the user the opportunity to change a field again. So I'm going to go fast with the email and Skype ID. So you'll see how easy it is. Okay, so I'm going to go for email. Okay, enter your email again. I click on save, put the keyword email, save. Now I'm going to pick the email with some pick data block, email, validation. I'm going to keep the error message, and I'm going to go back to block 11 when everything's okay. And same for Skype ID. Send message, introduce your Skype ID, save. Now some pick data, custom field, Skype ID. Oops, sorry. ID and no validation. All right, I'm going to delete the error message again, and I'm going to link this one to the block number 11. So as you can see, we've got some cool flow here. So we're giving the user the option to change any of these fields, Skype ID, email, or name. We're going to see how this works later on. So let's go back to the script. Fourth option was just continue. So let's create a message, and the script would say, okay, could you tell me how are you feeling today? So in this case, we're going to give the user two different options, and according to what he selects, we're going to send him a different message. So I'm going to say, okay, could you tell me how are you feeling today? I'm going to copy this, I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to add options. I'm feeling good, or I'm feeling bad. I'm hiding the text box, so you can only click on buttons. I click on save, and remember to set up the keyword here. So it is continue. Great. So now again, I need a pick selected option block, so the chatbot will understand if I'm clicking on good or if I'm clicking on bad. So I click on pick selected option, click on save, save again. I'm deleting the error message because I was hiding the text box, so there is no error possible here. And now I'm going to give for two options. First option, if he's feeling good, I'm going to say, I'm happy, you're happy. I'm going to hide the text box, and I click on save. And now I configure the keyword to tell good. Great. Same for the other one. So we send message block. We're going to copy the text straight from it. We're going to hide the text box, click on save, and set up the keyword. I'm feeling bad. I'm sad, you're sad. It was bad, or was it sad? It was bad. Okay. Now the two paths are going to meet again in a new block. So I create a new send message block with a green arrow, which means that it's going to go straight to the next block. I go back to my script, and now I'm going to give the user some multiple choice question. So okay, now could you please tell me, what do you like most about this webinar? I'm going to copy these texts, go back to the builder, paste it, and then add some options. So what's going to be different here is that these options are going to have the possibility of being multiple, so you can pick more than one option. So the options are host, PDF, presentation, examples, Q&A, date and time. So host, PDF, presentation, Q&A, date and time, and examples. So if I want to make these options multiple choice, I only need to click here, multi-option. I click here, I'll hide the text box again, and click on save. I'm going to link this block 2 to this one. All right. And now I'm gonna tell the chatbot to get that data for me. Again, I click on pick data, click on save, and let's add a custom field called feedback. I'm gonna ask for no validation at all. I click on save. Again, delete this error message. There is no text box. Let's continue. All right. So right now we're adding some HTML hacks you can insert inside your blogs to make the experience a bit better. So we've got a video example, YouTube video we can embed inside a message, and we've got a button, a URL, with an URL we can also embed in a message. So this is basically some HTML snippet. This is really simple. That we've got an article in our knowledge base where it shows you how to create this kind of video embedded and buttons. So it's really simple. You just need to copy and paste this. So I'm going to copy this whole message. I'm going to create a new send message block, and I'm going to paste it. So okay, I'll send you a video now inside a message. As you can see, it's just an iframe, and well, this is the YouTube URL I'm going to share. I'm going to hide the text box, and now I'm going to click save. Oh, thank you, Yaki. I missed the keyword here. So I'm going to go for Skype. All right. So now I've got a video on this block 26, and I'm going to add a button on block 27. So okay, now I'll add a clickable button. Just check it out. Again, this is just some HTML, and this is the URL I want to lead visitors when clicking on the button. So I'm going to copy this whole message, go back to the builder, create a new send message block right here, and paste it. I'm going to hide in the text box too. All right, so we're almost done. You see, it's a really cool flow. It took us like, I don't know, 15 minutes to build, and it's going to be quite interesting. So I'm adding a farewell just to say goodbye. I'm going to do it in 2 messages. I'm copying these. I'm adding a new message. Save. This will be the first one, hide text box. This will be the second one. And again, I'm hiding the text box. So I click on save, and I think my flow is ready already. So now it's time to test it. All right, so I click on save. I click on save. And nothing happens. So we've got some problem here. It's not saving my chatbot. I mean, it's a long one. I hope I haven't lost it. No, it's not possible. So I'm just, let's edit a block. Uh-oh.
Let's see.
I might be missing something.
Beat this.
When everything's linked, everything's perfect. There's no loop anywhere. Good, bad. I'm gonna click on save. Don't tell me I've lost it. All right, I'll do something. I'll refresh my page because it saves a copy of the chatbot. So I'm gonna just go for Command R and reload the page. Fingers crossed. All right. So let's see. I'm gonna go for chatbots again. It's not here, but don't worry about that. I'm gonna add new. It's gonna say, hey, we found a previous configuration not safe for this chatbot. Do you want to recover it? Hell yeah, I want to restore it. I click on save. Here's the flow. Now please tell me it's gonna save it. Oh, there's something wrong. All right, I have my mate Jackie making sure that the chatbot is somehow saved in our back office. This is really strange. I mean, this is probably
demo effect.
Yeah, this is live, so that these things happen. But I think everything's fine. I'm going to change the startup block in case that helps. So yeah, the brand is webinar landbot.io. We're just making sure it's already saved in our back office. It seems it's actually not safe because this is chatbot webinar. What? Are you kidding me? All right. So we need no panic here. So I'm gonna click save like 1,000 times, but it's not gonna work. So I'm gonna refresh again. All right, this will be my last try. So let's go back to chatbots. Let's go back to add new, restore.
Maybe we can check out the channels it's set.
I'm gonna try to save it now. I mean, yeah, we're repeating the same process over again. I mean, it's not gonna change. So let's try to add some Landbot here. Now, it wouldn't make much sense if it worked that way. So we're basically this is weird. This is the pity because we cannot.
Maybe we can show the template bots that we have previously prepared there.
Yeah, I should have done a copy. You know, I wanted to go live with everything, full live, but I should have made a copy. I mean, this is not what usually happens. You know, I'm gonna try and go for some incognito mode. I believe in incognito because I've recovered some Landbots with this. So I'm gonna try it to log in here and let's save the chatbot. Start hacking your bot. Okay, chatbots. Add new. Thanks. Oh no, it's not even asking me if I want to recover it. Come on. All right, so I'm sorry, folks. It seems that we've lost our chatbot, which is kind of embarrassing. All right, let's try it. All right, I promise, last try. If it's not working, we'll try the template bot, which is really cool too. I've built it myself.
Yeah, I'm seeing that we are having lots of comments of people telling us different solutions, but I think, yeah,
I like that one, different browser. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a different browser. Let's try that. No, this is the same browser. All right, let's go for some Safari, man. I believe in Safari. All right, so.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
I think maybe we will just try to show the demo boat. To show the demo boat. It will be quicker, you know.
Yeah. Just let's give it one more try.
Okay.
Safe password.
Last chance, people.
Fingers crossed. Hands and feet. No, sorry. Chatbots. The color is different in Safari, right? All right, so I'm gonna add new. No. It's even in Spanish. Well, we lost it. We've lost it, guys. I'm so sorry about this. I mean, it's asking me to restore it over and over again, but it's not doing nothing. It's badly playing with my expectations. But there was some loader here. Nope. I'm gonna add one block. Big data. All right, save it. All right, birthday. Save.
Maybe you can change the startup block.
No, I've just tried that. All right, so we won't lose more time here. We're really sorry about these guys. We'll try to recover this chatbot. In fact, there's some ways of doing it, but I'm not technical myself, so I won't be able to. So you're not gonna save it, right? Okay, so I'm gonna cancel these. I'm gonna discard my changes with a lot of pain in my heart. All right, so we're going to try Landbot. So remember we had two channels. We go settings, we go to channels. Oh, sorry, I think because you are logged into accounts, you have. Yeah, I got to just refresh this whole thing. Yeah, I clicked on save like 50 times, so that might be the reason. All right, so webinar. Shall we try once more? No, just kidding.
No, please stop.
All right, let's go to settings. We go to channels, and we got Landbot and webinar. This is the really cool Landbot we've designed previously. I got the URL here, so I'm gonna copy it. Click on cancel. I haven't done any changes. I go back to chatbots, and I can see there's a webinar Landbot. I'm gonna check this one out. I click on settings. I see it's linked to Landbot. So I'm gonna cancel this. I'm gonna open up the template, edit. I click on settings, and I connect it to the webinar channel. So I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it again, and I'm gonna turn it on. So basically, I've copied the URL. So I'm gonna just open it up, paste it here, and let's try this Landbot. It basically has the same elements I've just created, but well, it was cool the fact that I was building it live. But all right. All right, so remember we've just introduced our welcome messages by default. This is something that some users are asking us if they can customize it, if they can change it. That's going to be possible in the future, but keep in mind that we've introduced this feature just to make the page load way faster. So instead of being just the chatbot, we've got these automatic messages that, well, again, it boosts the load time of the website. So I click on howdy, and the flow starts. So hi there, I'm a template, and this is a welcome message. Welcome to this template. How do you feel today? So I click on great. Again, these are two options. This is pretty similar to the one I was creating. So if I click on great, the reply is awesome, and it's added some GIF. If I would have clicked on bad, the reply would be something else. So what's your name? I'm Chris. Now it's using some dynamic fields. I got your name, Chris. Again, I can use dynamic fields to increase engagement. And now it's going to show that video I was about to show you on the hyperlinked button. So yeah, it's pretty similar to the one I was creating. So here's the video. Remember that little piece of HTML code, so we can see chatbot at the same time. So this is the video. Remember the iframe. Remember the YouTube URL, and we can say, hey, we can play it without leaving the Landbot, which is quite cool. All right. And then we got this button. We click. It's going to lead us to, sorry. Yeah, it's going to lead us to product hunt. Ooh, we're about to hit 1,500. All right, but
nice.
I've just lost my Landbot. So if I go back, again, I go back to the Landbot. And hopefully it's leaving me in the same place I left it. So wasn't that cool? Now it's asking for my email. It's chrislandbot.io. I'm going to type anything. Like, no. Remember that error message when the format was not correct. So he's saying your answer doesn't contain an ad. So the path will follow the red arrow. And I'll kindly ask you to try again. All right, so I'm going to go for a real one. And he's going to say, okay, everything's cool. Your email is chris@landbot.io. Is this correct? Again, I've added this possibility to change the field in this chatbot. We can see it here. So let me look for it. Here, it's picking the email. And if it's correct, it's going to continue. And if I want to change it, it's going to ask for another email, pick it again, and go back to the original flow. So I'm going to, yeah, it's perfectly fine. Great, thanks for your email. Now it's going to get some custom fields. Remember those custom fields. Please share some feedback with me. I'm sad your chatbot was not saved. Yeah, I am sad. So thanks. Now I'm going to share all the information. Again, this is something I was building too. So your name is Chris. Your feedback is I'm sad your chatbot wasn't saved, and your email is getting my email, chris@landbot.io. So thanks for trusting our service. Come back whenever you need anything. So I'm going to click on finish. This start again button is cool because it links the whole flow. You see this big white arrow. So it links this part of the flow with the first block, so we can start over and over again, and we can create those loops. So I click on finish, and it's going to give me some more advice on how can I create amazing Landbots. So now, let's say if I want to test this Landbot again, some of you might just refresh the page, so I'm going to refresh it. And the thing is that the conversation won't start again because the browser already knows you're the same visitor. So it's going to leave you right where you left it. So there are different options here if you want to test the Landbot. So the first one, and the one I recommend, is just copy the URL, open up an incognito window, paste in the URL, and the flow is going to start again. If you want to start again, you need to copy the URL, close incognito window, open it up again, and paste it. All right. It's a bit tricky, but once you get used to it with shortcuts, it's quite fast. So there's other option, and it is that if you are editing the bot and you make any change, if you save those changes, you can go back to the Landbot, and if you enter any input, the system is gonna reload the whole flow again. But in this case, I cannot introduce any input. I think there's no text box here. No, it is, but it's not showing. But that's something that would be possible too.
You can try it maybe in an incognito window for people to know what it's like.
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay.
So I'm going to open up the chatbot in an incognito window. So the flow is going to start. Click on howdy. Great. So I'm going to give you some options. I'm feeling great. All right, so let's say I want to start the flow again. So I can go back to the builder. And if I make any addition on the chatbot, like I'm going to add some emoticon here, click on save, and I save the flow. Whenever I introduce anything here, the flow is going to start again because we've made some changes in the chatbot. So hi there, I'm a template, and this is a welcome message. Again, so we can, instead of just closing the window and open it up again, we can just go to the chatbot builder because we're supposed to be making changes, and we can just save those changes, go back, enter any input, and the system flow is going to start over again. So it's, well, it might help you with your Landbot testing. So that was pretty much it. I mean, we've got our chatbot, we've got our new channel, we've got our poor chatbot that was lost in the river, but no problem at all. So some important things I want you to know too. So we've got an URL here. So you need to keep in mind that this URL is referring to the first Landbot you created. So this is not the one we've just created. This is just the first one. So if I go to settings, channels, I got two. So the first one is going to correspond to this URL. If I want to get the URL of the other channels, I need to click on edit in that channel. I need to scroll down, and the URL is going to be here. One more. We're going to change that conversation here by clicking on view chats. So this is me. This is Chris, right? Yeah. So yeah, let's take a look at the conversation. As you can see, it got some of my data, like my email, Chris@Landbot. He knows I'm from Spain, and he's getting feedback too. I'm said your chatbot was not saved, so it basically gathers all that information, and we can take the whole conversation here. This is a sandbox account, which means that it's a free account. But if I would go pro, I would be able to reply in the conversation. So there will be a text box here, and I will be able to talk to Chris in real time. So if you actually could give me some permissions to upgrade my account to pro, we can show him what it's like to answer in real time to your visitors. So we're gonna go for leads while he's changing the permissions. We got these. We got Chris, and we can customize his fields on table. Feedback. We're gonna include the feedback here. So it's quite intuitive. We can export all these in CSV format, and we get a lead list right here. We can change the time frame. We can refresh. We can search for customers. All right, so I've just upgraded to the professional plan. So I'm gonna refresh my platform, and you're gonna see that now I'm able to conversate with my visitors. So what I'm gonna do is I'm Chris. So there's a conversation taking place right now. This is the conversation. I just told him I'm Chris, so I can just come here. Sorry. Hi, this is Chris 2. I am typing from the future. And I go to the other conversation. This is me. Oh, hi, Chris. How are you? and I can chat like if this would be a regular chat on our website, which is quite cool because you can put some triggers and just imagine if we go back to the original flow chatbots and we click on the template and we're given two options here. Remember, like how do you feel today? I feel great. I could be better. So let's imagine that I want to talk personally to people that feels great. So I can click on save here, and instead of linking to this blog, I could just create a new blog with the same arrow, but clicking on other actions, I can assign it to an agent. So that conversation would be automatically assigned to me. So let's assume I want to talk to people that feels great. I click here on great. The system is going to automatically assign me that chat. So it's really, really cool if you want to score in real time, if you're going to ask some specific questions to your leads to be able to manage the conversation personally.
Maybe we could put this link in the chat section so everyone could check it out.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I'm going to, remember, if we want to get the link, we go to settings, channels, we select the Landbot, we want the link to copy, so we click on edit, we scroll down, and right below the preview, you see now I got the snippet. I got the HTML snippet because I'm professional and I can just insert it on any domain. So I'm gonna copy these and I'm gonna I think right here. All right, so I'm gonna paste it here. So you can try it. And now we can see all your conversations. I assume there are going to be more than one or two, but happening here. So we got some blue flamingo entering the conversation. We got some black snake.
Okay, it seems blue flamingo is already.
So you're selecting great. So you're being assigned to me. Hi there. How are you? If I arch the conversation, which means I'm closing it, the Landbot is gonna be launched again. So I got some rainbow shit from France.
Maybe you shouldn't trigger.
Yeah, if you click on great, I'm gonna have you assigned. So I'm gonna just archive all your conversations, all right, and just click on could be better. I know you feel great, but it's not a problem now. You're feeling great. That's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna archive all these conversations. You can start typing again, and the chatbot will start again. Got some rainbow bat from Austria.
So, Chris, how about let's check some of the questions we have here and try to answer them.
Yeah, definitely. Let's take a look at some of your questions and let's try to clarify them. Yeah.
Okay, so Wolfgang Swanger, okay, hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly, have asked us, does it matter what language you create the chatbot? Would it work in German, for example?
I'm trying to. All right, does it matter what language you create a chatbot could work? Yeah, it would definitely work in German. So we have no problem at all when it comes to adding blocks. So let's come here to settings, chatbots. So I can send a message in any language. But when it comes to keywords, the only limitation we have is with keywords. And if we're having some Asian characters, some Hebrew characters, some Arabic, we're going to have some problems here because the chatbot it's not going to understand them yet. So if we're talking about a message, we can right here in Chinese. I mean, Yaki's Chinese got some Chinese chatbots. It's not a problem. But when it comes to keywords, we need to keep them in Occidental characters. But the thing that there's a trick here. If you're speaking some Arabic or any other language with different characters or Cyrillic or anything, so when adding options, we may want to add some number, and instead of writing the word in the arrow, we're gonna write the number. Sorry. So it might work for different languages. So yeah, it works in German and perfectly fine.
Okay. So anyone else with does have any questions? Okay. Patrick H here, okay, has asked us, what is the best way to test a Landbot?
All right, so we're gonna go for it again.
Okay, it seems, Patrick, you haven't been very.
All right, so let's see how we can test a chatbot. So basically, we need to copy the URL. Remember, this is the URL for our very first Landbot. But if we have more than one, we need to go to Channels, click here and edit the channel we want to test. We need to copy this URL, and we need to open it up. If it's the first time, we can do it in the regular browser. But if it's not, we need to open up an incognito mode and just paste it here. If we want to test it again, we've got two options. We can make any change from the chatbot builder and the flow will start again, or we can just copy the URL, close the incognito window, open it up again, and paste the URL here. So this is, again, a bit tricky. We're going to be introducing some really cool ways of testing your Landbot so you can be more agile. But by now, I think if you get used to those shortcuts, you're going to go fine.
Well, maybe we can also share the little trick we always use to start the testing easily.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So imagine we've got a really long flow, because these flows are quite simple, but we've got some chatbots with like 400 blocks. So if we want to test some specific part of the chatbot, we can change the startup block. So let's say I want to test this block. So I can define it as a startup block. It's gonna. Are you sure? I am. So I'm gonna click on yes. Something kind of freeze. I'm gonna click on yes. Yeah, it's the startup block now. I click on save, and I click on save. So now, if I open up the chatbot again in an incognito mode, instead of starting from the beginning, it's going to start right on that. Oh, sorry, it was already open. Sorry, I had two incognito windows. This is really important. You need to close every incognito window and open it up again, because if not, the system, even though he doesn't know who you are, he knows you're the same person. So we need to close it. We need to open it up again, and you'll see we're not starting from the first block, but we're starting from this obviously welcome message, and then could you share some feedback with me so we can test some specific block or path from the chatbot builder.
Okay, next question. Okay, Shantanu Sharma has asked us, is there a pricing structure for Landbot? Okay, so for anyone that has a Landbot account, you can go just to the settings section. Maybe you can show it to us.
Sure.
Okay, and there is oh, sorry. I think
yeah, this is because we tricked the upgrade.
Yes.
Let's
okay.
open up a different. I'm gonna go for a different account because we just upgraded this one manually. So I'm gonna go for sign in. I'm gonna open.
But in case you have a free account, for example, you can just click the GoPro button, and then you will see a complete pricing table with all the features included for each pricing.
Yeah, so we click here on GoPro, we can see this full pricing table. So yeah, basically there are three different plans. So when you register in Landbot, you get the sandbox plan, and then you can upgrade to professional, which basically allows you to have unlimited leads and to take over conversations as a human. And also, which is the most important thing for most of you, add your custom domain. We have that HTML snippet we can insert on any website as if it would be a live chat. And then we've got the business plan, which is 130 euros per month for up to 2 agents. And the cool thing here is that you can integrate more instant messaging channels like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or Telegram or anything. So that's basically the main difference between the 3 plans. I mean, you can stick to the sandbox plan, that's perfectly fine, but you can get rid of that thank you message, you can get unlimited leads, and you can get a custom domain if you upgrade to professional.
Okay, so next question, Wolfgang again. Is there an automated way to test the bot according to the script? So I'm afraid that currently the only way to test the bot is those one we have shown just here. Okay, we're working on a more convenient way to test it, but I don't think it's in the automated way that you are thinking. Okay, so next question, can I show a message when waiting for an agent in the conversation? Well, you can always show a message before the assign block, okay? And just for say, for the user to be patient and the agent will come soon or things like that.
Yeah, let me show you a little bit more on this, because you can add a message to tell something like, yeah, it might take some minutes to get the conversation. You may want to leave some feedback, for instance. So yeah, definitely, you can add things like that. Let me show you. So if I go to chatbots, I go to the template one, and here I had the assign block when you click on grade. So instead of doing this, I'm gonna change this block. I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna change it for a send message. Okay, so I'm going to assign you to a human agent. Now I can add one more message. So it might take us some time. So do you want to share your question? For instance, I click on save. Sorry, this is a bit messy. All right, I click on save, and now I add a pick data, like question. I select no validation, save. I delete this error message, I don't need it. And now I'm gonna assign, remember this is not an assigned block, it's just given the same name. So okay, so I'm going whatever, just differentiate it. And now I'm gonna go for assign. Other actions, assign to an agent. So this way we can, leave a message. If it says great, okay, so I'm going to assign you to a human agent. It may take some time, so you may want to share your question. We can pick that question and then assign the conversation. So we can say an action. I'm going to change the startup block again. I'm going to click on yes, save. I'm going to test it. Oh, sorry. All right, so we're going to view chats here. I'm going to start a conversation. Hello. I'm feeling great. Remember, if I click great, it's going to assign. Let's check my conversation. This is me. This is Orange Flamingo over here. So I click on great. The system is going to tell me, okay, so I'm going to assign you to a human agent. It may take us some time. So do you want to share your question? Yeah, I need help. So you see the system automatically assigned the customer to me and store the question. So when the agent gets to the conversation, he already knows what the visitor was asking. I need help, so he can just jump into conversation. Hello, I can help you out. Don't worry about that. Yeah, so it works. It's very cool.
So, any more questions, people? I think that's all.
Okay. So, well, first, thank you very much for attending this webinar. It's been our pleasure. We're really sorry about that chatbot thing, but I think we get to understand the whole chatbot builder. This template is really cool. So we've seen a lot of different elements in our chatbots. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. We're recording this, so we're gonna share this video with all of the assistants to this webinar. And well, if you don't have any more questions, you can always leave us a message at hi@landbot.io, or you can just talk to any of our Landbots. There's always a path to talk to us. So yeah, you may wanna sign up for a new account too if you don't have yet. And well, again, thank you very much for being here. We'll be doing some more webinars probably weekly from now on. So we'll tell you, we'll let you know, and thank you for being here.
Okay, so thank you.
Bye bye.
Until next one, bye.